Hello, welcome to my channel. I'm Michelle from The Day Before This Day. I'm Day Before Michelle here on YouTube and also over on Instagram. If you're new here, welcome. It has been a hot minute since my last video. I'm trying to get back into the swing of things. If you are returning, nice to see you again. I'm so sorry I was gone for so long. On my channel, you will see mostly right up till now has been just cross stitching and the occasional sewing project, but going forward I will be adding a lot more content to my channel, so if you are not just into that, please feel free to come back and check more videos out later. So but today is about cross stitching, specifically about what am I going to take with me to StitchCon. So for those of you who are not familiar, StitchCon is a cross stitchers convention that is held in Cincinnati every year. There's 2 weekends, and I'm going this coming weekend, which is weekend B. So I'm really excited. This is my second year, and I had such a fun time last year that I was so excited to be able to get in for this year. So what I've decided is, because I couldn't make up my mind without looking at them, I had decided that today I would do a kind of a WIP parade, but only part of a WIP parade. Basically, I pulled out anything that I had considered or had stitched on in the last 6 months. I consider those my active WIPs. Anything older than that, I tend to avoid, because I'm obviously not feeling them. I will reassess, like every few months or so. I'll go through and look, see if anything's like calling out to me. But for the most part, I know what I've got going, and it'll, if something springs out at me, it's like, oh, I know right where that's at, and go get it. But I have a lot of WIPs, and I have a lot of WIPs because this is my hobby. It's what makes me happy, and if that means that I start 5 projects in a week, then that's okay, because that's, as long as I've got the ability to, then that's what I want to do. And it's okay if you're not that kind, of stitcher. That's just the kind of stitcher that I am. So anyhow, I have probably 2/3 of my WIPs here, I think. And so we'll go through those while I'm trying to decide what I'm going to take. I'm so sorry about the table. While I'm trying to decide what I'm going to take to StitchCon with me. So here we go. First up, let me move these out of the way. The first WIP is probably definitely going to go with me, because I have been working on this as much as I can, simply because I'm in love with it, and I would really like for it to be on my wall. And I should have been better prepared for this. I'm sorry. This is called Dragonheart by Karen Weaver of Black Swan Designs. I'm stitching it on the, it is 32 count, but I'm pretty sure that this is actually summer khaki Murano. And actually, I think it's 30 count, not 32. So, and here is where I am. I have made so much more progress than the last time I showed this on a WIP parade. Of course, that's been 2 years, but this will definitely be going with me, because I would like to see some progress on the blue dragon. I'm down to what you can see of the gold here on the tail is pretty much down to mostly beads and metallics. So I'm going to be starting to work on the blue purple dragon there. So I'm going to start working in there, filling in. This is my second oldest WIP. Actually, no, I take that back. That's my 3rd oldest WIP. I have 2 other WIPs that are older than this one. And I have had this in my WIP pile for a long time. To be fair, I had lost the pattern and was not able to find a new pattern for a long time. So when I was finally able to locate a pattern and purchase it, I had to come all the way from Australia, but I was finally able to find one and put it back into rotation. So that one will definitely be going with me to StitchCon. Okay, I'm sorry, y'all. I know it's probably not going to look great, but my hair, it's raining here, and my hair is just on my nerves. Next up is, this is Pink Sparrow Sampler by Brenda Gervais. I probably should have pulled it out of the cellophane, but I didn't. I am stitching this on the called for fabric with the called for threads. Actually, I'm like this. So that's where that is. I stitched on this a little bit recently. I had finished this little motif here and moved on to a flower. This might go with me, but I don't know. I was enjoying it, but at the same time, I think that I just needed something a little brighter, maybe, at the time. So we'll have to play that one by ear as well. Like I've only picked one already. So this one's a definite possibility. So there. I've got 3 separate piles here. I've got taking, maybes, and put it away. It's not going. So we'll see. Next up is Christmas at Hollyberry Farms by Stacy Nash Primitives. And this was a stitch along that I started with my friend Tracy 3 years ago ish. Hers is long done. Mine is barely started, or at least it feels like it. This one has been in timeout because this is the called for green, but I do not like it. You can't even tell that I have stitched there, and it's not even just on camera. Like, you can barely tell it in person as well. So I think I'm going to pick that out and choose something different. I'm just not digging it. It's a little too faded, I think. So this is a maybe because I'll have so many stitchers there that I can, pick their brains on what greens they might think, kind of deal, that I might take it with me, even if I don't take it to stitch with, to pick out a new thread to go. So that's a possibility. And I do apologize, because it's so nice and cool and rainy. I do have the windows open, and so you can hear the traffic and whatnot. So, but it's too nice, guys. It is way too nice to close the windows. You gotta get that fresh air in the house while I can't, because this is Ohio. And next week, you might not be able to breathe the air. It's so thick. Next up, I think, is definitely going to go, but I'm not sure. Oh no. I do not have the chart in here. All I have is my working copy. So, it's Betsy's Autumn Bird and Acorn. And I think I'm going to take it because I'm not far from being done with it. I don't remember. But it's a smaller project, so it's something I could get done, could finish while we were there, or while I was there. So I think I'm going to take Betsy. And I also have in here this little sampler I'm working on shares the project bag because these are small projects and this is a big bag. And I'm stitching it in black on this fabric by it's a 36 count linen, and this one is done by Oksana. Oh wait, it's right there. Oksana Lupatina. She did a couple custom dye jobs for me because I was looking for something specific, and this is the one that I loved it, so I bought it, but it's not the one I selected for that other project. So I'm stitching that on black, and so if Betsy's Autumn is going with, so is this because it's together. Okay, so I know that this one is not going to go with me, but I did stitch on it a little bit not too long ago. This is Pink Poinsettia Sampler by Pam Kellogg. I cannot speak. This is Kitty and Me Designs. And the only reason I'm not going to take it with me is because I really do not want to have to deal with metallics at StitchCon. I would rather save that frustration for when I'm at home. So this one will not go with me, but I think that it will get some attention tonight, because I would really like to have this one done by Christmas. I don't know if it's possible. It depends on how much stitching I get done, but that would be nice. Next is one that should have been done by now, really. This is from Pinker and Pumpkin Quilting, Melissa. I can't remember what she called it. Crow Creek Salt Box is the name of the pattern. And you can get this free on her blog. It's Pinker and Pumpkin Quilting. That's where I'm at. I might stitch on this tonight instead. I love this. I just think it's the cutest thing ever, and I can't wait to have it stitched. And I just haven't finished it for, I'm not sure why. So, a maybe. Next up is Witch's Pie, and this is by Casey. I'm sorry, I do not know how to pronounce her last name. It's Buenauguro. But it's called Witch's Pie. I have such a small start on this. But it is on Ada, so that's definitely a possibility. I did notice last year that I had a the stitching with the Ada was easier because it was easier for me to be distracted while I was stitching, so I could talk and everything. So that's a possibility. Maybe. The struggle is real. It really is. Next up is Firefly Fairies. This is by it's Told in the Garden, or it's Marilyn Levitt Emblem. I can never remember if this is Told in the Garden or, because she actually designed under 3 different. No, this one's the lavender and lace. But she designed under 3 different companies. I mean, they were all her, but under 3 different. Because there was Told in the Garden, lavender and lace, and I can't remember off the top of my head. She did a Celtic sampler, and that was under the other name as well, like a bell pull type. I'll remember, you know, when I'm done. And here is where I am on this. I did do some work on this just the other night. I was very happy to get it back out. I'm not normally a green person, but for some reason, this just really works. The choices of color that you wouldn't think work together once you start stitching it and everything, it ends up working. So you can tell where Nora got her artistic ability from. Interestingly enough, I actually have a Mirabilia, but I've only got 1. Actually, I think I might have like 3 stitches in it, so I don't really consider it a WIP right now. I think Firefly Fairies is going to go with me. I was really enjoying stitching on it last night, or the other night. Next up is Universal Monster Stitch Along by the Witchy Stitcher. I'm pretty sure that I took this with me last year, but I don't recall if I ever actually did any stitching on it. I love this piece. I really do. I just I can only stitch with the single color for a little while before I have to put it away. It has been a while since I had it out, so I might just need to put some more work into it soon. I love the way that the black is looking up against this fabric. And this is a 32 count. Maybe a 28 count. It's a Silk Weaver hand painted fabric from back in the day. And I do not recall what the color is. I do know that I am stitching it on the reverse side, because the other it had a more subtle effect, but see, here's the thing. I am driving. I gotta have my car. I'm going by myself. I can take as much as I want to. I don't have to take it all in, right? I was starting to pack up, and my husband was asking me, I don't remember exactly how it got brought up, but I had to tell him that collecting cross-stitch charts and threads and fabric is a whole different hobby from cross-stitching, much like buying patterns and fabric is a whole different hobby from sewing or quilting. They interlock. But, you know, I think it was one of those, you don't need to take all that, right? Or I was talking about not wanting to use up all my room so I could buy stuff. That's what it was. Do you need more? No. Do I want more? Maybe. Okay, this one I know for a fact is not going to go with me as much as I would like to get some work done on it. I pulled this out the other night and I got frustrated with it, and the worst part is it wasn't even the stitching I was getting frustrated with. It's the management of the fabric and yeah. So this is Old World Map, and it is by Diana Thomas from Jane Lynn. You can still get this. I have seen the kits for sale. I am not using the kit material. I actually had purchased a piece of Monaco from Oksana on one of the destashed groups. This is a 28 count hand-dyed Monaco. I just really thought that this kind of looked like an old map that had been spilled on and everything. So all I have is a little more than half of the outside border. This is a restart. I had started it on the original Ada that came with it, or fabric that came with it. Yeah, it was Ada. And I had started it on the wrong side, so I wasn't going to have room. And I started to pick it all off, and the seam ripper went through the Ada and sliced it. So since I had to restart with a new fabric anyhow, I figured we'd do it on a cooler fabric. So this will not be going. Oh wow. "22 minutes and we've got about halfway through so far. It's not bad. Or I have misplaced something. I don't know which. Next up is a fairly recent start. This is the Ocean Blue Stocking by Kathy Barrick. I started this after I had finished All American Fin, because I needed to replace a nautical piece with a nautical piece. I am stitching this on the called for fabric with the called for, well, with the DMC. I don't remember if she calls for DMC or if I had to do a conversion. With the DMC, I may buy the Silken Colors or NPI. I may have him. I don't know, because I recently have purchased an estate of cross stitch items, and she had some silks and things, but she also had some projects in the works that I don't want to take the threads out of if I'm going to finish, because I'm going to finish them probably for her, or at least attempt to, or find someone to. And so if those threads go with any of those projects, I don't want to take them. So I am not going to take the stocking with me. And this one, So this project, I actually, and here's the funny part, I actually can't show you the chart because it is downstairs. I had put it away after I made a working copy. The funny part about that is I actually have 3 of them, and I couldn't locate any one of them quickly. 2 of them I had ended up buying a couple lots of stitching supplies, and they had each had one in it. So I was going to destash it, but I hadn't got that far yet. But I don't know where I put that stack of destash. So anyhow, this is one of the Prairie Schooler Santas. This is from let's see, it says 84 to 87. This is the 1985 Santa. And that's where I'm at with him. I will probably take this one with me because I do like to have a couple of in-hand pieces with me when I go places, because I don't always feel like dealing with the hoop or the Q-snaps or anything. Plus, this is one of my multi-bags. A couple different projects live in it at a time because I've got multi. So this will probably be going with me because it also has a current focus WIP in it, and that is this one. This is Little Samplings Eat Fish. And that turkey is the cutest thing ever. I'm stitching it on 28 count desert sand. And there's where I am. He's adorable. So since this one is going with me, by definition, so is the Santa and whatever else is in this bag. And I could rearrange bags on this. Is Hillside Samplings. Sorry. It's one of their little samplings designs, but it's Hillside Samplings. Anyhow, I could swap out bags and everything and rearrange, but then I will never remember what's in what bag anymore. I know I could probably label them, but like I said, I'm driving. I don't have to worry about room for anyone else. Here's another good one for traveling anyhow. This is another witchy stitcher. This is a book. And I am stitching it on 30 count mushroom Murano. There it went. Next up is King Arthur's Court. This is in the October 2005 Cross Stitch collection. It is a British magazine. You can see it done here. Yeah. This is what it will look like. So I did stop working on this temporarily. I had this out and had been trying to make some good progress on it, but just a minute. Okay, sorry about that. My son, who popped his head in and startled me. I'm not entirely sure where I was at with this, but I had this out. I was stitching it. I was really enjoying it, and then I got to the metallics, and I did not like working with the metallic. And I didn't like the way it looked. So I'm going to pick up some petite treasure braid. Is that what it is? And see if I like that. And if not, then I may just change it to a different color instead of using a metallic. Because I'm not entirely sold that it actually needs a metallic. But I do really love how this looks. Those colors are just, they pop. So I may take this with me just so that I can pick out a metallic for it. Even if I don't actually stitch on it, it would be nice to have it there to compare and see how I like it. So I think this is definitely going to go with me even if I don't stitch on it. Makes sense to me. Next up is another one that really should have been done by now. And this is In My Garden by Blackbird Designs. And this was part of the A Little Help from My Stitching Friends group. Not group, club. And honest, I love the design, and I think that what my hold up with it is that I'm not enjoying the fabric. I mean, it's not a bad fabric. It's just that I really love the faded look of the Blackbird Design colors, but I think that they're fading into the background too much for my personal tastes. So I think that I just put it out of mind because I'm not 100% happy with that. So I'm not going to take this with me. I'm going to let that, think about that a little bit, because I may restart that on a different fabric before I go too much further. So this will not be going with. And this one is called Creepy Hollow, and it's by Erin Chard. And this was a free design a long, long time ago, and the only way I was able to find it was through the Wayback Machine. So yeah, but I fell in love with it and I wanted to stitch it, and so someone helped me and I was able to find it. So I'm stitching this on 28 count Colorscapes Fossil yeah, so it's 28 count Fossil from Colorscapes. I might take this one with me. Like I said, it's not like I plan on stitching on all of them. It's not like I even think I will. But I have the space. And if I do, great. If I don't, it's not a big deal. This one will be, if I don't finish it before then, this one will be going with me. This is a Prairie Schooler. This one is one of the complimentary cards. And I don't know what it is. A bookmark. It doesn't have a title, of course. That's where I'm at. But I would like to have that one finished. So if I don't finish it between now and then I will take that one with me. Okay, one of my whips did not make it up here. I'll be taking it with me just because I take it everywhere. My car project is the quilting by Marilyn Levitt emblem for Told in My Garden. But I do not see it, so I must not have grabbed it. Oops. But I take it anytime I leave the house. It goes with me, so it will be there. Next up is Salem. This is by Verbena. I'm not very far on this one. I'm not entirely sure. I may have saved the information. I may not have. I do not know the fabric info, but I do think it's a 28 count. And I didn't write it down while I was stitching it on. So I'm not entirely sure, other than to say it's a 28 count, it's a linen, and it looks to be like in a straw type color. That one's not gonna go with. This one might. I haven't stitched on it in so long, and now that I'm pulling it out, I'm like, oh, look at these colors. This is Azure Fairy, and this is by Fantacat Designs. Look at the sparkle, the metallics there. The colors on this project just are stunning. They are. And I'm stitching this on 30 count pewter Murano. I think it's pewter. Actually, it might not be pewter. This one might be. Might actually be light blue, ice blue. I don't remember. Yeah, it's pewter. Platinum is the brownish colored one, so it's pewter. I'm all right, really. So I think she's gonna go. In my Raw Mad Here bag. This is going to be a Bendy Stitches design. And this is You're Okay, I Guess, by Bendy Stitchy. Needs a good pressing. I'm stitching this on a 36 count Belfast linen from Mystic Fabrics called Reflection. And since I will be sitting with Misty of Mystic Fabrics, which I'm so excited about. I will definitely be taking that one with me. Not that you know, a lot of my projects aren't stitched on Mystic Fabrics, because hers is the one and only fabric club I belong to. Okay, and this one I do not have a picture of because I got my working copy out of a magazine. This is Gold Tidings by Plum Street Samplers. I have so little done on it, I probably won't even bother to take it with. I mean, it's not like it's going to hurt anything if I do take it, but so I'll take it with me. The more the merrier. Everybody in the pool. Okay, this one is Astrology Sampler. This is Witch's Stitches. I'm stitching this one on another Mystic Fabrics. This one is a 28 count opal linen in Witch's Brew. And that's where I'm at. Her Witch's Brew, I mean, I don't know, you can't really tell that well, but the blue and the it's so pretty. So pretty. There we go. There we go. Now, I may change my mind again before I leave. But generally speaking, probably that would be to add to it. This is the Scarlet House Jingle All the Way. This is being stitched on a 32 count forest green. If I can find it, because it's a very large piece. Like, it's a very large piece. There it is. This one can be a little hard to see. I have to work on it in just the right lighting. I'll take it with me just in case the conditions are good. Because if the conditions are good, I'd like to get as much as I could. Oh, jeez. My cat darted in and startled me. So I'll take it with me just in case. Why not? And next up, and this is my last one. Whoa. I'm not going to be stitching either of these if I don't take the charts with. And I didn't put the floss back in one chart. Oh, Lord. I am so out of practice, y'all. So out of practice. Let's repeat that. Uh-oh. There it is. Okay. This is the fairy. Sorry, if I didn't do that now, I would forget, and then I wouldn't have everything I needed. So, my apologies for the delay of game. So my last project is Blackbird Designs. And this is from their Lavina's Pressed Flowers book. And I am stitching the pillow. This is Mildred's Sampler Pillow. I am stitching it with the limited edition Fig from Gentle Art. I don't know how well you can see that. And oh, there's another project in there. Okay. And I don't remember what the name of the fabric is. Sorry. Bonus is yet another project that should have been done by now, but I didn't. I worked on it. And this is another one from the A Little Help from Our Friend Stitching Circle in the Silver Needle. This is the Stitching Bee by Little House Needleworks. I'm not able to get a good picture there, am I? There we go. And that's where I'm at. Yeah, I think it's time I should I mean, to be fair to myself, I did kind of have like very limited stitching time over the last couple of years. So we my granddaughter moved here from Texas, and she brought her parents with her for a little while, and so they lived with us for a little while while her mom was doing school, and they looked for a place to buy and everything. So I spent all my time playing with, you know, toddler games and things like that. So it was I wanted to spend as much of that time with her as I could. You know, she was living here, and they're only that young for such a small time, you know. But I still get to see her because when they found a place, they're still within, you know, a half-hour drive. So we get to see her at least once a week. They come. I get Grandma Day, where she comes and she hangs out with me for several hours, and we just have fun, and then her parents come and we have family dinner and, you know, things like that. But so that's where I've been. I just haven't done enough stitching to justify, in my mind, floss tubes or anything. So, but they've been in their own place since late fall, and I'm finally getting things reorganized and getting my stitching room set back up, things like that. So you will be seeing more of me, and you will be seeing more from me than just cross stitching. So I hope that you will come back, and I hope that you enjoyed my little mini WIP parade here, and that you had some fun. Maybe saw a project or two that you would like to give a try. And I'm gonna go and go throw on some dinner and finish packing for StitchCon. So until next time, happy stitching. Bye bye.